What's going on, people? Welcome back to another edition of Jen's Sports Corner. Happy Sunday. I hope you're enjoying your weekend and having a good day. Let's get into the Sixers' loss last night against the Toronto Raptors up in Toronto. And look, my prediction originally, I don't know if I put this in the episode, was the Sixers in 5 or 6 games. Now, Toronto was able to avoid the sweep, which, good on them because they're a tough team, they're a prideful team. They didn't want to go out like that. The Sixers were going for their first sweep since 1991 when they won their first round series 3-0. And after that game three thriller where Embiid hit that shot, game four was really a back and forth affair. And Embiid was coming in with a very significant injury. He had sprained ligaments in his thumb on his right hand, his shooting hand, which obviously affected him. And during the pregame warm up, Shaq mentioned that he had to play through the same injury at times in his career, so he knows exactly how it can affect you. And it was obvious that Embiid was in pain from really the outset. He was shaking his hand after the first two shots, so you knew what type of night it was going to be. Now, he had his moments in his spots where he just turned around in the paint and just got dominant, hit a hook shot, hit a couple of fadeaways from the elbow, but he really was off his game tonight. And credit to the Raptors. They doubled him. They brought the double team earlier than expected, and they really got him frustrated. So we'll see how the Sixers make the adjustments for game four. But let's look at the summary for game three here. Sixers lost 110-102. And really, it wasn't that close near the end of the fourth quarter. We sat down our starters, I think with like 4 minutes to go, something to that nature. And credit to them. Pascal Siakam came out and dropped 34. He was getting it, man. Hitting that mid-range jumper, getting to his spots and doing what he needed to do. James Harden had a solid game, but even still, he hit shots in spots, but it wasn't enough. James Harden had 22 points and 9 assists and 5 rebounds. JoJo had 21 points, 8 rebounds. Tobias Harris had 15 points and 11 rebounds. And it was obvious that Doc Rivers was trying to feed the ball to Tobias Harris. I don't know if he had a certain speech before the game where he said, look, big fella's a little banged up. We need you to lead the charge. And he was doing his thing in spots in the first half, but he wasn't able to carry that over to the second half. However, his defense has been phenomenal. His defense, especially from the time he got here to now, his defense is really good. But in these close games right here, these are the games where you miss Matisse Thybulle. Now, I don't think that they'll need Matisse Thybulle in Game 5, even though they'll have him back. But when you're on the road in a tough environment with a team that is not trying to get the brooms brought out on them, you know that they're going to come out aggressive and try to get fouls, which they did. And they got to the line way more than we did, which is usually not the case. And look, I'm not going to complain about the officiating, but you have to know when you go up there to their house, especially after all the complaining that Nick Nurse was doing after the series and the games 1 and 2 in Philadelphia, you know that they're going to get more calls than usual. So you have to be prepared for that, and you're going to have to come out and play harder than you did. They seemed like they wanted it more and they were hungrier. That being said, have a short memory, come back to Philly, and you have to lay it on them and let them know that this is not, that was cool, but you're not going to win this series, okay? So I have the Sixers in 5, worst case scenario in 6. I know everybody's talking about, hey, you remember Doc had the 3-1 lead that he blew when he was coaching the Clippers, and we had the 3-1 lead that we blew against the Hawks. Look, I think this is a more mature and wiser and more well put together team, that they're going to respond to this adversity in ways that they couldn't have 1 year or 3 years ago. They were just a little bit too immature. So, and that's one of the reasons why you have a James Harden here, is to be able to help guide you through these situations where you got an opponent on the ropes and they start punching back. And instead of you getting lazy and getting caught with a lucky punch, no, you let them wail away. They get a few hits on you, and then you come back and you finish the fight, which I think they'll do. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Do you think the Sixers will win in 5, 6? Do you think that the Raptors will pull the impossible and come back and win 3 more games in a row? Let me know what you think. but you already know what the right answer is. I will catch you back tomorrow for game 5, and we'll talk about it. We'll see what happens. With that being said, I'm off to talk about some boxing. You know what it is. Enjoy your Sunday. Holla.